Welcome to Egg Foo What? I'm your co-host, Mike Lisk.
I'm Greg Wilson, and this is Egg Foo. What? Did you even try it that time?
No, I didn't. I just kind of went straight. I went for the straightforward because I can't compete with you anymore.
Well, that one was so unremarkable. I didn't remember whether or not you had even tried it 2 seconds later. So
this is a big episode for us. We're having our first guest.
Yes.
We're welcoming Jerry Papandrea. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
You did. I'm surprised. Nobody ever does.
I've been practicing all afternoon.
You should have said, after he asked if he's pronounced it correctly, you should have said, no, it's Gary.
Yeah, that's right.
Now Jerry has a YouTube channel, Derry X Dines, and he's been in this game a long time. He's been at it since 2010.
Ooh.
I mean, I give you respect. I mean, you've built it up from the ground upwards. You've got over 2,000 subscribers, which is not too shabby, considering we've got less than 100. We got to do something, Greg.
I mean, this isn't a eulogy. I mean, how much we have to build this guy up? I mean,
I'm hoping some of Jerry's luster will rub off on us, and we'll get some new listeners. Now, Jerry does a professional job, though. Have you seen any of his videos, Greg?
I have, and I was going to ask you, Jerry, real quick. I saw the chopped cheese one.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Right now, Mike, maybe I lived in Brooklyn from 98 to 2012. I ate every bodega sandwich imaginable. How I kept my monstrous figure, it's a miracle. But I never heard of chopped cheese until about a year ago. All of a sudden it started popping up everywhere. And I kept seeing these lists, the best chopped cheese in Brooklyn, or the best chopped cheese here. What is your history with the chopped cheese? Had you heard of it before a year or two ago? How did I miss this for so long?
All right. So the chopped
Jerry,
cheese...
I wasn't done talking. That's rude.
Oh, sorry. All right. So here's the thing about the chopped cheese. It is one of those legends that everybody has known about, but nobody has talked about until the Instagram era has made it a popular thing. So
you at least knew about it going back however far.
No, I had only heard about it around the 2017, 2018 time period.
Okay. Yep. Cool. Okay.
You know, I watched that video, and I'm new to that phenomenon as well. I've never heard of it, actually. And actually the part of it that really turns me off is the inclusion of mayonnaise.
Oh,
I don't get it. I don't get it. You're a mayonnaise super fan, Craig?
Yes.
Really?
I would even say super fan. Yes.
I mean,
it's a polarizing ingredient. You guys got both poles here.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't come up a lot in our Chinese food discussion.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. There are a couple of things that you might get to that are made with mayonnaise.
That would be surprising.
Now tell us what's in the chopped cheese for the people who don't know, Jerry.
So the chopped cheese sandwich is basically, they start with a hamburger that they cook on a flat top. They season it with some kind of seasoning. The classic is either like a Lowry seasoning salt or like a Goya Sazon. They cook it on one side really, really hard. Then when they turn it over, they just chop it up along with some onions. And then when they build the sandwich, it's on kind of like a sub roll. And they'll put that with the cheese on the sub roll, along with a squirt of mayonnaise, a squirt of ketchup, lettuce, tomato, and usually, like, sometimes they put peppers on it. The thing is that it's kind of a personal preference thing. Some people leave the mayo and ketchup off. It's one of those bodega things that, everybody kind of has their own way that they order it. But the key is they wrap it for a few minutes, and then it ends up being kind of like this cheesesteak adjacent cousin type food.
Right.
Yeah, I would describe it as ruining a cheesesteak.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, the lettuce and tomato, I forgot that was in there. I mean, what's the point of putting lettuce and tomato on a cheesesteak? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And I know, Jerry, you're not a fan of peppers, which is kind of shocking to me. I mean,
well, I mean, I said that as the statement. I'm not a fan of green peppers. Green peppers to me have a different taste than like red peppers, if that makes sense.
No, not to me. I'm a pepper fan. I love
Okay.
green and red.
Okay.
Mm.
But
Jerry, you are stepping in it here.
That's, I mean, I'll eat
I
any
don't know what to
pepper
tell you,
other than
buddy. I
green
don't know how to
pepper.
steer you out of this.
but so yes, I mean we're probably almost together. It's edible. It looked good. I mean, you really peel it apart. Do you make your own videos yourself? Is it a one-man show?
Yeah.
Wow,
It-
that's phenomenal.
it's hard. The hard part is I work full time and I don't work in video creation at all. So that everything's done on my free time. So I will get the food, I will film the reaction, make sure in the middle I'm actually, taking some extra video so I can, like you said, pull it apart, show people the inside. It's a lot to manage, but it's a hobby. So
No, you do a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Thank you.
they're phenomenal.
I'm sorry, real quick. I have one question. I would finish up this chopped cheese thing. Sorry.
it's okay.
Um,
It's your show.
it's obviously a cousin of the cheesesteak. I don't mind what people put on it. I mean, I'm a Pats man but I'm not crazy in saying this really wasn't a thing 5, 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. I have family who live in New York City. I moved upstate a long time ago. But I think it's in the 2010 decade, and it kind of started from Harlem and then made its way into the gentrified parts of Brooklyn and all those other things.
Yeah, because I spend 3-4 times a day, every day, popping in. Today, I think I would have noticed something that's delightful cheesesteak esky. I would have noticed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw this a couple years ago. I started thinking, am I fucking nuts? But so Jerry, do you have any you do this video stuff all yourself and it's great, but you're not trained technically or anything. Do you have any food? Do they say vloggers? I'm not fucking saying. Do you have any guys that you've watched over the years that have been a big influence on your YouTube stuff? Or
Yeah, so I grew up, my dad owned a deli and I worked in his deli for a number of years working through high school, college, graduate school. As far as like creating content, I had a blog for about 8 years, and Mike said, I built this empire and all that stuff. I built that blog. I'm going to call it empire, quote unquote. But then I destroyed it. I destroyed it about 5 years ago. And then I decided in 2018, I was going to start up with YouTube again. And you guys might notice this, the way topics on YouTube hit.
I will not have noticed this.
What's that?
I will not have noticed this, but thank you.
Okay. The way topics on YouTube hit, it's totally random. So you might look at your analytics and see that certain shows are having completely different reactions to people. What I noticed is that my food, anything where I featured food was getting more of a reaction. So I just decided to lean in that direction and kind of focus. But yeah, I watch creators all over the place on YouTube.
Now you reached out to me when we started Egg Foo What, and you wanted to
Egg Foo what, Mike?
What?
I mean, don't even put yourself in that position if you can't do it, bro. Why do that to yourself?
When we started this podcast, you reached out to me specifically regarding fried wontons.
Yes.
Now you've had very 50-50 results at best, maybe, where you've gotten them correctly cooked. And I've only had them correctly cooked recently, and it's a world of difference. The correctly cooked fried wonton should be like, any fried food. It has sort of like a coating and seems to have been deep fried, versus what the incorrectly wonton is more like a pan seared. Just like they throw it on the grill and flip it over a couple times and they call it fried. Am I describing this correctly?
Yeah.
Are you talking about dumplings or
No, the wontons, the fried wontons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would take it even a step further and say that the places that do it quote unquote correctly are using a completely different wrapper for what they call a wonton. So there are places that just fry up wontons, right?
Yeah.
And it ends up being kind of soggy, greasy, not really crispy. And then there are places where it's kind of almost like an empanada shell.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I finally had the correctly cooked fried wontons for this show.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
A nice difference, nice crunch to it versus the sort of just, pan-seared wonton that you would find in your soup.
Yeah, these
Um,
are easily, because I was bitching about these a couple shows ago. I can't remember the last fried wonton I got that just wasn't a garbled mess of grease and nothing. The place I ordered from tonight, first of all, is different than I usually have. And I'm gonna have a couple of nice things to say about this place. Hold on to your hats, everybody. Um,
Frank's
I can't
finally found a
remember.
decent place.
Yeah, I can't remember a better fried wonton. It was perfect. It was light and crispy, and it was just like, any other great fried thing, and had a nice chunk of pork, but mostly it wasn't too chewy. It was crispy and just exactly what you want something fried to be without being too heavy or gross or whatever. These are easily the best fried wontons I've had in
Oh,
a while.
nice. I'm looking forward to the picture of this.
All right, don't push. Easy, Mike. This is when you get in trouble.
So, did you go to, is there a local place you go to, Jerry, where you found them, where they make them correctly?
So this is what I was telling you on Twitter. So when we started coordinating this on Friday last week, I said, you know what, for this, I have to go to the place that I know makes the fried wontons good, because otherwise it's definitely hit or miss, 50-50. Even places that have made it the right way, I've gone back and they've made it the wrong way.
I guess it depends on the cook, right?
Or whatever, maybe ingredients are getting expensive or whatever it is, but it's sad.
Yeah.
So I went to that place, and that place is not exactly in my area. It's a little bit outside. So took a ride with my son. I had him for the day. He was out of school, and the place was closed, but the sign, there was a sign on the door saying we close Monday and Tuesday. It was Friday, and it was within their hours of opening. So I don't know what was going on. But so we ended up at a different place where they gave me probably the worst version of the bad fried wontons that I've ever had.
Oh yeah, you put a picture up, yes.
And I did post a picture of
Oh
that.
my God, yeah.
It was crazy.
It looked like gnarled leather, I think I described it as.
Yeah.
It
Oh
looked
yeah,
terrible.
that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about bad fried. Yeah, they like little gnarled chunks of leather. Yeah, that's bad ones I've had in my experience. Yeah.
And even the meat, I guess
If
the meat
you
can
can
be,
even differentiate the meat from the rest of it. Yeah.
And this is my point as far as fried wontons. The good fried wontons are so good that you don't even care how disgusting the meat inside is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, the meat is never great.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
the
tonight, as good as these ones I'm yammering about, I don't really remember or care about the meat part. The rest of it was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, something the meat can vary. I mean, I've gotten it sometimes and it looks kind of like a greasy wad. You don't really want to look at it even.
Yes. That's why they stuff it in there.
It's part of the experience. But like Greg says, it's not the main part, it's just sort of like there and okay, but actually the wonton I had, the meat was kind of good consistency, and it was not displeasing to the eye. I even got the idea, because this is really the first time I've gotten decent fried wontons. What do you think of this idea, guys? Greg's talked about his Chinese burrito. I'm thinking about, what if you combine a zeppoli with a fried wonton?
Mike,
sort of a
Don't
deep
do this.
fried.
Don't do this. Look, I had the Chinese burrito. I lucked into
A
it.
deep fried zeppoli with like a pork center. No,
I don't know.
I wasn't listening. I was too busy talking over you.
I mean, you sound like maybe the fried butter type at the World Fair.
No, yeah, no, I know there's all these absurd fried things, and I've never really gone down that road.
It'd be great running for president, Mike.
I don't think I've even had one of the fried Oreos, which people like,
Yeah.
But for some reason, I thought of zeppolis. I guess that's sort of one of my fried type of things that I like, and
Are they like beignets?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe greasier.
I mean, a zeppoli at a fair, or like
Exactly.
a feast, it's usually just fried pizza dough, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. But when it's done right, I even had not all pizza places have it.
Yep.
But I had a pizza place that would make it, and every once in a while I would have it, and it's a nice sort of, yeah. I mean, I used to get it at church fairs and that type of stuff. They always had them. So I always had sort of a nostalgic connection with the Zeppeli.
Proustian, you can say it.
No,
You
yeah.
can
Oh,
say it.
Why'd you have to ruin the story?
But you want to say it. You can say it.
Okay. So I think we me and Greg had good experiences. Unfortunately, Jerry had a bad experience, and he set the whole thing in motion. How about the steamed dumplings? I had steamed dumplings. I mean, I've never gotten fried dumplings. I guess you're going to get the pan seared dumplings if you get the fried dumplings.
Yeah, what they usually do is that, like, so they always do them steamed, and then they'll empty the water out of the wok, put a little oil in it, and fry the side that's flat, and then flip that over into the container. So one side is fried, quote unquote, where it's more of a pan fry. The other side is steamed. So it's basically a steamed dumpling with an extra step.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't need that extra step. I mean, the fried dumplings, I mean, the steamed dumplings I had were great. I became a big fan of steamed dumplings. I had a customer at Mass's Tavern who was always pushing food on people. I mean, it was great, but sometimes he went too far, and it's like, hey, he's always bringing junk food to the bar.
How do you push giving away free food too far?
Well,
I can tell you.
When did you finally say, "Whoa, buddy"?
Well, yeah, I mean, it got to be too much. I mean, I'd be working, 5 days a week, and then every day he's bringing in something, and yeah, it's great. I mean, I wasn't thankful for it. I wasn't an ingrate, but after a while, I was like, enough.
I think by definition, you're an ingrate.
And in fact, I sort of cheated for this episode. I felt like I needed.
All coming out now.
I needed a week off.
Judge, here come the judge.
I felt like I needed a week off after the last few heavy dishes we've had. So I got those appetizers on earlier trips. So I gave myself this week off. Jerry, I watch your videos, and I'm like, my God, I watched the what was it, the Rochester garbage plate. I'm like, Jerry, I was horrified. I mean, you've got a son to live for. I don't want you, dying for this podcast. I mean, this video.
Jerry's an entertainer first.
Think of your child.
He knew that when he signed up for this episode.
I mean, that Rochester garbage plate was like, tell me you didn't eat that whole thing.
No, it was one of those things where I did it for the video. I ate a little bit of it, but it's too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think, since this has become, your hobby, and you're putting out, I see you're increasing the frequency. I mean, you're putting out more than one video a week now. You're putting out 2 or 3, right?
Well, so now they have this thing called YouTube Shorts where you can make videos a little bit like shorter videos, and they go to different audiences. So I've been kind of testing that.
Is this a TikTok thing, or
yeah, it's YouTube's version of TikTok. Yeah. So we're doing this thing called Silly Snack Reviews, and we'll buy like weird snacks, like weird flavored Oreos and stuff like that. And I'll just batch produce those. But as far as like doing one on the fly, I had everything in the fridge to do the garbage plate, so I figured why not just give it a shot. And it was the first time I tried that. Not exactly in a rush to drive up to Rochester to have a real one.
All right. And I think I saw another one where you admitted that, like, you're not going to finish that whole grape soda. I think you had a grape soda with the or the grape drink with the
and the chopped cheese.
The chopped cheese.
Yeah, I try not to drink calories too much because it's a balance. That there's all this food that you're eating for content. So it's the other days that nobody sees is a lot cleaner. So
just putting it out there, Jerry. We're concerned. We want you to live.
I'm not concerned, Jerry.
If me and Greg if me and Greg go down eating the Chinese takeout menu, I mean, what's going to happen, Greg? A few people will cry and they'll forget about us in a couple of days.
If that, yeah. Live your life, Jerry. Live your life. Let
No,
yourself see you grabbing life
living
and-
his life for his son.
Yes, who needs to see him sucking the marrow out of the bone of life? He doesn't need to see his dad laying it up, taking it easy. Come on. His dad's chasing a dream.
My son has become a major snacker himself. So, and Mike, you're gonna like this. His favorite chips are those Cheez-Its that you love, the double cheese snapped.
Oh,
Yeah,
Remember
they're
those?
good. They're good.
what's this, young Michael? A snack I didn't know you.
No, you
loved?
don't remember my alternative top 100 snack list on Twitter?
I don't remember everybody.
Oh, okay.
Well, what wasn't number
You
one?
follow me on Twitter, Craig? Just for the record.
Wasn't yeah, of course I did. The show pays me to follow you. Yes. Wasn't number one like rolls or something crazy?
Well, that was on the best show, and I objected to that.
It was right. It was fucking rolls, right?
It was buttered rolls, which
Oh,
I have nothing against buttered rolls.
I love buttered rolls.
Yeah,
but they're
no,
not
I
quote
like a
unquote
buttered
snack.
roll once in a while myself. Nothing
I'd
against
like
them.
one every day if I could, but
But
it's not a snack.
but I consider that a breakfast. If you're
A
doing
buttered roll
breakfast,
can be-
a
could be there,
breakfast on the
okay.
fly, right? It's a good breakfast on the fly.
A
Yeah, but
buttered
you
roll?
went in a whole different direction there. Wouldn't you say coleslaw or something?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I pulled a gag, so I was going to
Yeah,
do
that
my
makes
own
me
version.
gag.
I was going to do my own version of the buttered roll, and have the number one snack be a non-snack.
Hold
So-
on, maybe I misunderstood. I'm picturing a roll with butter on it. What are you picturing?
Oh, not this again.
Yeah.
The Kaiser roll with butter.
Okay.
I think that's what the listeners of the show were going for too. But then people started saying, like, if you're at a wedding and you pick up the
Yeah.
roll on the table with butter, that to me is not a buttered roll. That's bread and butter.
Right. It's a Northeast thing. It turns out to be.
I consider anything a quote unquote buttered roll to be something with dinner. A buttered, Kaiser bun. That's a buttered Kaiser bun or whatever. That's not a buttered quote unquote roll. I wish
Okay,
you people had- I
now we're
wish you
getting
people had
into
spoken
the
to me.
roll argument, which,
Yeah.
as I
I-
said, in
Before
other
we move-
parts of the country, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Other parts of the country. Here we go. All right.
It's
In-
a dinner
in
roll, what I'd call a
Salisbury,
dinner
They
roll.
don't even have.
I know what a dinner roll is. I know the difference between a dinner roll
Yeah.
and a buttered roll.
But in either case, though, I would say neither is a quote unquote snack. That's all.
No.
Yeah.
And
So
not
you-
the top snack out of 100.
Right. Yeah, number one, not a snack. Number two, certainly not number one.
It was a controversial choice at best. So
Really?
I went, I wanted to revamp it. I came up with my own controversial number one, and then immediately said, hey, I was pulling your leg. The number one snack is Cheez-Its,
Mhm.
which, Jerry's pointing to one. They've branched out. I mean,
I don't think people are looking to your list of snacks for funny bones. They want Mike list when it comes to food to deliver them straight to the veins, baby. They don't need the yuck it up. Come on now. You're a role model. You have a responsibility as a public figure. Just saying.
but anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Cheez-Its, and they have many varieties now. I mean, I still prefer
How about you?
the original.
Is this another case of the wizards in the lab keep trying to come up with different flavors, even though they
Yeah.
nailed it the first time?
Yeah, they try to keep, expanding the
Ugh.
brand. I get it. They're trying to, maybe somebody don't like the original, then they say, hey, wait, look at this, holy white cheese garlic one. I think they have some other thing.
Yeah, I don't like regular Cheez-Its. I'm gonna like birthday cake, wedding almond drizzle Cheez-Its.
It is a lot of that, but I will say there is one flavor out there that actually is
Jerry, don't you take Mike's side.
no.
Don't
The-
you do it.
No, I'm not at all. But they make now what's called extra toasty Cheez-Its, where you open up a box of these and it's clear that these are like the ones
Defect.
that didn't
Yeah,
right,
they're
they didn't make
defects.
the
They're
quality
burnt.
control.
They're
But
burnt. Yeah.
there are some that are literally burnt, and it is such a better experience.
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
actually like that brand, but they should just call it what it is. These are defective things. We're
It's like when I saw a
repackaging.
bag of,
They
like
didn't
when I
make
saw a
the
bag of,
quality control of the original, and we've come up with a new thing, so we don't have to waste them.
Mike,
Nothing wrong with that.
I
they
saw a
actually
bag of
say
mini
they
tater
actually
tots.
I'm sorry, Greg, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, it sounds like when I found, one time I was shopping and I saw a bag of mini tater tots.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, I thought they already were the miniature version.
But this, in this case here, like if you look up the box actually says America's #1 requested flavor. So people wanted this according to
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I remember years ago thinking, gee, if I had $1 billion, I'd make a business where instead of popcorn, it's the almost popped kernels that you always have at the bottom. Like they're not
You
quite
like
popped,
those?
but you love biting into them. And that right after that, I discovered they were making those. Yeah.
Trader
Like
Joe's
barely
sells that.
popped.
They make that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I discovered, yeah.
You go to
Delightful.
Trader Joe's, Greg? You're fancy?
Number one, Mike, I am fancy. No, I've never been to a Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay.
Never really been one near me.
Uh-huh.
But thank you for that condescending, smarmy question. I appreciate that.
By the way, I think those mini tater tots are for people with mini mouths. They have tiny mouths, so they had to
Mike, we talked about having your jokes
size
approved.
them down.
We talked about having your jokes approved pre-show.
And I'm just swinging it.
Did I
Free
not
jazz. You get the free jazz version.
free jazz?
So anyway,
Did you give your score for your dumplings or?
actually, I'm just getting back to that. I noticed I tried to get an image for the show. That's the extent of my work that I do.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at all these images for steamed dumplings, and they're different size shapes. You've got sort of the wedges, like a wedge shape dumpling versus the round dumpling. I got round dumplings, which I think I prefer. Did anybody get these sort of wedge shaped dumplings?
I got a wedge shaped dumpling, but it didn't look like the standard wedge shaped dumpling. I'm going to try to make it my my picture on here so that the viewers can see it.
Oh, okay.
Mike,
But
did you
yeah,
get the
I
dressing earlier?
didn't.
I mean, I'm gonna miss your profile picture right now because that's a great picture.
It's okay. We'll put it back.
I mean, other than that Mets hat. I mean,
No, the Mets are doing well this year, although they
Yeah.
lost today.
I wouldn't know. I just wear it for the color.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, you picked the right team anyway.
So this is what my dumplings look like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
Yep.
They're kind of
Oh, okay.
well, those are yeah. Some of them look like wedge, but some are like just sort of any shape you please. I mean, they're
Yeah,
kind
they're
of,
almost like shriveled up ravioli kind of thing.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Mine were huge, like bigger, maybe the biggest dumplings I've ever seen. Really big, and they're like half the size of a baseball, like those kind of
half
dumplings.
the size of a baseball.
Yeah, they were.
How
now, they
many
were
did you get?
delightful. I can only get through one. They were really good, but
How
yeah, they
many?
were big. I think 8,
You
6,
got
or
8 of those?
whatever
Wow.
comes in an order. I don't know, 6.
Yeah,
They were
usually
big.
it's like 8.
I was only able to eat one, but it was really good. But it was a different shape than yours, Jerry. They were bigger,
Yeah.
the big versions. But they were really good. And then the quote unquote fried version of that I got, you could tell they just lightly seared it on one side. And it was nice. It was no different than the steamed one, really.
You got both?
Of course I did.
Wow.
Anything for the show, bro.
But you
Don't
usually
worry, you'll
end
be
up
getting the invoice.
throwing the food away. You're gonna
Yeah,
eat the rest of this, right?
This was pretty good. Yeah.
So you'll get a couple meals out of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
great.
fried wontons were great. The dumplings were great, if a little plain, but that's okay. And yeah, I've had quote unquote fried dumplings where they really fry the bleep out of them and they're just terrible, leathery. But these were just, like I said, lightly seared on one side,
Mhm.
just like Jerry was talking about earlier, and yeah, really good. Yeah.
And you got
What
in your I guess Jerry set me straight regarding, I thought it was just you got a larger cup of soy sauce.
I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
What about the sauces that you guys got?
Oh, it was good. I mean, but I'm not sophisticated enough to know that it's not just like the house brand soy sauce versus the packets.
Yeah.
So I assumed it was just soy sauce, but you're saying it's slightly different.
Yeah, so typically what they'll do for a dumpling sauce, a lot of places they'll just give you this like black vinegar, and if there's anything that I can tell you that's similar to it, like balsamic vinegar, but not
Yeah.
quite as
Mhm.
I don't know. It doesn't have as
Mine
much
was
of
a
an
little
edge.
like that. I have to
Yeah.
admit.
So the sauce they usually make for dumplings is usually like a mixture of that along with soy sauce, and then you'll sometimes see like in the picture you got there some like scant amount of scallion, which
Yeah.
may or may not add flavor to it.
Yeah, scallion. Yeah, it's not.
I usually dump the sauces. I don't really like them there. If I use anything, like tonight I did. I'll use soy sauce. I've never really loved the dumpling sauces I've ever gotten.
Yeah, you know what I hate when they steam the dumplings and then they'll put the sauce in there with it, and the container the sauce is in kind of withers along with it, and it drips all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I want to control mine.
Yeah, no good. Can't
Uh,
be watching everybody like a hawk.
we didn't talk about the sauces for the fried dumplings.
Do
I mean,
we
the fried wontons.
do we need to? It's always the same sauce.
Well, what is that? It's like some sort of red sauce, right?
It's sweet and sour chicken sauce.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes, that's what I got. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I
I've
didn't-
never gotten that before. But then literally all of a sudden I was laughing. I was like, oh my God, what's this for? I thought it was an accident. I've never gotten sweet and sour sauce with fried wontons before.
Interesting. You always give you like at least up here, they always give you a container that's probably 10 times more sauce than you'd ever
Oh
need.
yeah.
Yes, this is a
Uh-huh.
big container. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even touch it. It looked disgusting. I don't like. I'm learning I don't like a lot of Chinese food sauces. By learning, I mean I knew that before we started. And
But you love their brown gravy though.
something funny, Mike. Don't you dare.
Actually, this is sad to say. I saw that.
Now I'm listening.
I saw that like three-quarters of my brown gravy from my egg foo young got shoved to the back of the refrigerator,
Oh.
and I had to throw it out today.
Well, it starts to separate at some point. It gets a little ugly.
It started
But hey.
separating while I was eating the egg foo young. Now,
Hey,
Jerry took
that brown gravy. That brown gravy is why we're here tonight, people. Show a little respect.
Jerry took the egg foo young challenge, and his reaction was pretty much the same as mine. He
I
was
didn't hate it. I think the place that I got it from, maybe that wasn't seasoned a good amount or something. I don't know, but it was almost like just like thickened chicken broth. It wasn't even brown gravy.
Oh yeah. That's not good.
Next time,
Chicken bouillon.
Ask everybody to send photos because the gravy does kind of make or break it.
That's what I learned. So I posted that video on both YouTube and TikTok, and the people on TikTok have ripped it apart. They're like, you didn't add enough gravy. You're supposed to use the entire container. And to Mike's earlier point, I got a son to live for here. That gravy, I could see the oil kind of emulsified into it. So I wasn't going to be using that whole thing.
I've never in my life used all the gravy. Even if I've inhaled all 3 patties at once, I've never come close to using all the gravy.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the fuyang itself is pretty standard, and it's always the gravy that makes it or breaks it for me. So.
Yep.
The other thing I've noticed looking through your videos, Jerry, you've been on the front lines for the chicken sandwich wars going on.
Oh, I missed that.
You got a lot of videos to watch.
What's the lineup?
All right. How many have you done so far?
I think it's close to 25.
25.
So the point, what I tried to do with that was to create a series that was kind of interconnected, and it just like literally like got away from me in terms of there's just too many chicken sandwiches out there, and I'm so tired of eating chicken sandwiches at this point.
Yeah.
Greg fancies himself. I mean, this is slightly different. A fried chicken connoisseur. So
I used to be.
Oh, you're not?
But chicken sandwiches are different.
Yeah, I know. But I figure it's in within your radar.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Any opinions?
Who you asking?
I'm asking Greg.
Okay.
And then we'll compare Greg's take on chicken
Oh,
sandwiches.
I would
with,
say number one easily for me is Popeyes. It is such a delightful, big, fat hunk of juicy chicken. Every time I've gotten it, it's been spot on. I haven't gotten one lame one. The only thing I don't like about the Popeyes is they don't have cheese. They don't let you put cheese on it.
I don't need cheese. I mean, I'm with you with that sandwich. I think that sandwich is great. And I
Yeah.
have a Popeyes near me, which is convenient.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a really good sandwich.
I put the Chick-fil-A right under that. That's a great sandwich. It is what it is.
Chick-fil-A. Is that Chick-fil-A? That place, I don't get it. I don't get the whole Chick-fil-A phenomenon.
It's a really good sandwich.
It's okay.
Now it goes, if you live in an area like I do, I'm in Northern Virginia right now, where there's children and sports leagues, and you're going to see a line wrapped around Chick-fil-A.
That's what I don't get about it. Why are people lining up for that?
Kids love it. It's really, well, number one, it's really good. I like it.
It was all right.
Every kid in the world, that's their number one.
Oh yeah, no, I there's one in my town here, and there's lines. I just said one day I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not like a guy who wants to go to a place with a line, but I just curiosity won out. And I'm like, I'm going to go to this damn place, see what it's all about. I got the sandwich. I got the waffle fries. I appreciate that.
That's my problem with Chick-fil-A is I don't love their waffle fries. Like I'm a big dumb pig. I'll eat them if they're in front of me. They don't have a lot of selection other than the sandwich, but yeah. But I like Chick-fil-A, but Popeyes is better. And I put the new McDonald's one at a number 3, which is a surprise.
Number 3, wow.
Greg, have you had the Burger King Chick King?
No.
Okay, so I want you to try the Burger King Chick King,
Right.
and when you do try it, because there's a theory going around the internet that the chicken is exactly the same chicken as Popeyes because they're owned by the same parent company.
Well, if they're smart, it is.
Well, so the Burger King Chick King was probably a third of the way into the series that I've been doing, and that one has been my favorite one so far, including Popeyes.
Wow, your number one is the Chick King.
Wow.
So far it has been the Chick King, yes.
And is Popeyes number 2?
Popeyes is up there. I think.
What other ones are up there? Then we'll get to the bad ones.
I don't dislike Chick-fil-A. The problem that I have with Chick-fil-A is they should put the damn sauce on the sandwich, because you never get, it's always dry. So I don't have Chick-fil-A near me. So me and a buddy, when I made the video, drove out. It was like an hour and a half away. We actually drove just to go to Chick-fil-A. And we got there and the buns were dry, the chicken was dry, and like, just put the damn sauce on the sandwich. The sauce is awesome.
Yeah, you're right about now that I think about it, the sandwich is a little dry. It's still really good. I don't like the sauce, so my nephew, if it could come out of a faucet, he'd be happy. He loves it. To me, the only time I tried it, it tastes like hot dogs.
Okay.
and I love hot dogs, but I don't know if I love pureed hot dogs on my Chick-fil-A
chicken sandwich. Yeah.
But,
so the other one that I would say is really good is the KFC version.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. These are surprises.
Once I did not love it. The one I had was very thin. Wasn't much to it. I don't know.
Interesting. The one I had was so thick I almost couldn't bite through it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Totally different.
So.
I mean, I'm sure the Burger King you went to wasn't the Bayonne Burger King.
No.
Excuse us.
because the Burger King in Bayonne has to go down as one of the most chaotic. One thing you don't want in a fast food place is chaos.
That's one thing.
Yeah, well, bad food is another, but you don't want to see like complete chaos going on behind the counter.
Yeah.
And there was a time I went into the Bayonne Burger King, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen such a chaotic, Usually, there's some sort of a drill instructor behind there who really knows how to control the action.
Yeah.
But in this particular instance, nobody knew where anything was, what was going on. I mean, it was I don't know why I stayed. I mean, I was in there for about, I guess I must have been hungry. It was like about 30 minutes just to get my order. So there was nothing fast about the experience. But I've gotten other stuff there that wasn't bad. I guess not seeing the visible chaos behind the counter is a good experience. But not a big fan of the Bayonne Burger King.
Whoa, that's Bayonne.
I don't know. My Burger King is not too far off from that. I mean,
Listen,
every time I go there, it's chaotic. That you could see when they finish bags of buns, the bags are on the floor. It's not. I wouldn't exactly say it's a pleasant visual experience.
Now I will say this, and it's interesting you say that cha-ching.
Chicken.
How are we saying it? Chicken sandwich?
You get it? You get the
Yeah, I get it.
okay.
Yeah. And I will say I've always loved, ever since Burger King opened in my town when I was a wee lad in high school. I've never seen anybody else eat it. And they're probably gonna laugh at me. I still love the original chicken sandwich.
Then
The
you
oblong one, the weird shape. I
well,
don't think it's chicken, but that's fine.
I got some news for you. They got a promotion for you. They re-released the original chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I remember. What did it just have lettuce on it? Like
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you mean
some
re-release?
sort of mayonnaise base.
They've always had it wherever I've gone.
I swear to God, I went into Burger King a couple weeks ago, and they said back by popular demand the original chicken sandwich.
Wow.
I've never been the one without it. Now sometimes they have others like the Italian version of it. Dump ketchup and white American cheese on it.
Ketchup and a piece of cheese.
Yeah, they do that.
Chicken
like
parmesan.
Italianissimo. Whoa.
Chicken parmesan.
Yeah, chicken parm, ketchup and white American. But I've never been the one where they didn't have it, and I always, that's always my go-to. I love that for some reason. The original, that weird shape. I don't know who came up with that.
They got a deal on the buns.
Maybe, yeah. They're still trying to get rid of them after all these years. I'm the only idiot out there buying them. One by one, they're getting rid of this shipment of buns from the 80s.
I also love that your videos, you tell me the history of your catchphrase, making a mess.
So that's fairly recent.
Is it?
I don't know where that started, but like it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, I kind of need a catchphrase. I have a couple of gimmicks that come back up in videos, but the making a mess is one of those things that I started doing probably 3 or 4 months ago. And I watched the audience retention reports, and it seems like everybody either repeats that part or doesn't leave the video. So I figure it's something I have to at least remember to do occasionally.
I enjoy it when
Jerry, makes you more human to the folks. The
What's
folks
that?
out there want to seem like they're like you and you're like them. That makes them think you're human.
Yes,
That's good.
This is all behind the curtain talk.
And you do a lot of eating in your car.
They don't need to know.
You do a lot of eating in your car in the videos. Now, I guess that's easier to manage the video production.
Yeah, that's mainly, I mean, I'm not doing that now because it's really hot up here. But when I'm on a lunch break from work, I can take a lunch and do that there, or after work or something. It's just easy. Whereas if you watch the videos, you'll see that I set up a lot of lights and all that other stuff, and it's an easier video to produce.
Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate it, but I'm surprised you don't get people knocking on the windows or smart asses in the parking lot, trying to.
It's happened. If you come across a Dunkin' Donuts video where I taste pumpkin Dunkin' Donuts
in Bayonne.
Yeah,
there's a pretty good one actually.
The Bayonne Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In that video, there was a woman who had noticed me filming, and she decided to start chain smoking right next to my window. And there's a point there's a point where you can see her actually like blowing the smoke right into the car.
Wow.
And I kept it in the video to kind of make it a fun little thing.
Oh,
6
okay.
weeks later, they were married.
The only thing I try not to eat in the car, but there is one exception, and that is McDonald's French fries, because they are good, but they go cold so fast.
Mhm.
You know, by
Yeah.
the time you get home, you know, if you got like a 5-10 minute drive, they're already on the way. You know, the way.
Well, most fries don't travel well. Even, I would say crinkle fries travel the best.
Mhm.
Write that down, Mike. But most, you're lucky if most fries make it home anyway. So
It's true.
I appreciate when if you go to some places, they have the styrofoam containers. They'll put those little breathing holes at the top, right? Give
yeah,
you give your fries. They'll give your fries a chance at least.
they give them
Yeah.
a chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you ever had a place use those and actually have the holes, but then put it in a plastic bag and tie the bag?
Of course.
I hate that.
Of course. No, what's worse is
Hit
I've
the
had a
phone.
few times where they delivery, maybe this is particularly when Uber Eats was getting into the game first. They hand me the bag, my say McDonald's bag, but for some reason they felt like they had to keep the bag open so I could see it. So the whole time they're sitting there, the bag is open. I can just look down and see my stuff. It feels exposed to the world,
Yep.
which I do not love.
Yeah,
That's
I-
not good.
I
don't
had
like
an
that.
experience a couple weeks ago where it was kind of a takeout place, but they put your food on a tray right in front, and my tray was standing in front of some guy who seemed to have questionable hygiene, and I'm
Uh-oh.
like, damn it, can they just move that a couple of feet to the right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be calling people out, Jerry. That's not what we do on this show, but
No, I mean
that's-
that this guy will never hear that we talked about him.
Ouch.
Did you guys all get fortune cookies?
No.
Yes.
No.
Nope.
What?
How long have you been listening to this show, Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry. How long, bro? How long, Jerry?
Okay, so let's
Damn
talk
it,
about
Jared.
let's talk about the place that I went to. So
Okay.
when we're gonna go down to bare basics of Chinese restaurant, just recognition. Every Chinese restaurant is a two-named thing. It's either like Golden House, Golden Panda, New Panda, and I'm sure
I have
that's
Golden City, China Moon.
Golden
right.
China.
So they kind of swap in the words, right? So the
Yeah.
first place that I went to was called Golden Wok, and that is exactly what you want to see in a Chinese restaurant name. The second place is a place it's called Sogo, and it's a little bit too frou fancy, and to have food like that, it was a little disappointing. Just got to say that.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Sogo, Sogo. So
Yeah.
even expecting fortune cookies, I think is taking it too far at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, that name would sound intimidating to me. It would sound fancier, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
My new joint actually is a rarity. It's Campo Garden. So it breaks from the two word.
Well,
Format.
garden is another one that you'll
Yeah,
see.
garden's
China
always in
Garden.
there.
Yeah.
See that a lot.
Well, who's got a fortune cookie other than me?
I do.
Okay, let's hear it. Wait, we're not gonna sit here while you eat it, are we? We don't have to.
Oh, here you go. All things are difficult before they are easy.
Yeah, no shit. That's the second one in a row. Yours has been like, yeah, no kidding.
No, the last one said I was going to make a lot of money. I was like, well, too late for that.
That's a spirit. Mine says, yeah, mine is just as good. You will do better in real estate than in stocks.
Is that really what it says?
Joke's on you, dummies. I don't do either.
Well, so just so I don't feel left out, I pulled up a fortune cookie generator online, and I got. You already know the answer to the questions lingering inside your head.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
So you're a secret genius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
wow.
so.
That's a little too genius. Well,
Guys,
yeah,
so
this is definitely the most of the food in weeks I've eaten. So I liked everything. Yeah.
I want to suggest something for a future topic for you guys, because Mike mentioned his love for the fried dough.
We're not doing new business yet, Jerry. Damn it.
What do you mean?
I'm joking.
Okay. So on the menu, sometimes at Chinese restaurants under the appetizers, or whatever, starters, whatever they call them, you'll see what's called Chinese donuts. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
I'm looking at my menu right now.
Okay.
I don't know if I've had them. I've definitely seen it. Yeah.
Okay. When you have them, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I don't know how they make these, but
Oh.
it almost seems like they're Pillsbury biscuits that are deep fried and then rolled in just sugar.
Shots fired.
So
You
I wanna-
heard it here. You heard it here, China.
well, I don't know if it's China. We can't blame China specifically.
Yeah, I don't know, Jerry.
These are the
This is
American
what we
Chinese
do on
that-
this show, Jerry. We blame China. Hey, China, you are on blast.
But I want to hear your guys' opinion on
Yeah,
if,
we'll
if
try them.
okay, all right.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look
I'll
for
see
that.
it.
I don't see them on the one place I've been going to.
Not
Okay.
every place has them, but pre-COVID, the Chinese buffets were a big thing, and those would be like front and center because they're probably cheap and they probably fill people up quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate at a Chinese buffet during COVID.
Did you? How was
Oh,
that?
what am I crazy? Come on, Jerry.
Oh no, you didn't. Okay, all right. You were joking.
I'm joking.
Okay.
He's always joking, Jerry. Yeah, you don't know him as well as I do. It just sort of.
I would make I had a bad Fu Young, but you're a guest on the show. I don't want to get, I don't want to make it anything,
No, it's fine. I actually find that funny. So
Thank you, Jay.
So now that you've discovered a really nice restaurant, Greg, do you have anything in mind for next week's show?
Oh crap! I didn't even think about it. Whose turn is it?
Well, it was yours, but there was something that I've never had. I don't even know what it looks like. I know the name, and this is going to make me probably look like an idiot, but I've never had dim sum.
Well,
And
you're
it's
in
not-
luck because I'm pretty sure you're not the only idiot here. So
Okay,
I don't think I have.
you've never had dim sum, and
don't think
it's on the appetizer, so I don't
Yeah.
think every place has that.
I
But
guess I think of that more as either Thai or sushi, but I could be completely wrong on.
uh-huh.
so dim sum, it actually means it like the literal definition is like brunch. So when there are dim sum restaurants, and even New York City has them, where they'll call all the plates that they bring to you dim sum. So things like fried dumplings, steamed dumplings, and all these little plates. But dim sum on a Chinese takeout menu refers to a very specific dumpling that is wrapped. It's circular. It's like a cylinder,
Mhm.
and the top is exposed. So you'll see the meat, and it has like that pasta around it.
Huh.
So it's going to be very similar to your steamed dumpling.
Maybe we should put that off then.
Yeah,
It's a little, I don't want to go back to back.
sounds scary.
How about, here's another area. I mean, it's prominent on the menu, and I've never had it. Chop suey. Greg?
Boy, that's a good. I've known about chop suey all my life. I don't know if I've ever actually ordered it. That's
So-
interesting. Chop suey just seems like it's just a ubiquitous term. It's been there forever, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know if I've ever actually had it.
Yeah.
It just always seems like something so obvious that you don't order it because of that somehow.
And it's just broken down into the usual, pork, beef,
Noodles,
shrimp.
vegetables, meat.
Yeah. So,
I'll
I
do
mean,
chop.
you want to do chop suey for next week?
I'll do chop suey. Yeah.
All right.
Chop suey also has kind of ubiquity. Back in the 60s, it was kind of a catch-all for the
Right.
miscellaneous. So I'll be eager to hear you guys talk about
Yeah.
a little bit.
That's what I read that. I think I mentioned it before in an episode. Always read that was always the whatever the hell's left over kind of dish
Right.
thrown together. So yeah, it'll probably be different.
What differentiates it from chow mein? See, I thought chow mein was that.
Isn't chow mein noodles?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's rice, so it's going to be just vegetables and the meat?
I think so. I've actually never had it either.
Okay.
So
all right.
after you guys do the episode, I'll probably do the chow mein challenge.
Perfect.
Chop suey challenge.
Chop suey.
We're doing chop suey next week.
And there's
Chop suey, sorry,
and
yeah.
there's the Ramones did a song called Chop Suey, so even better.
Can you secure the rights for a background for next week?
We'll
Greg?
be fine.
Wasn't that System of a Down?
You're
I
right.
don't know.
System of a Down has some sort of chop suey, I think, thing too. We'll have to do some research. We'll have lots of musical interludes next week.
We'll have two, maybe, maybe.
That's funny.
One,
Yeah,
one
chop
final
suey,
thing. I
let's
mean, I again, I'm heaping praise on you, Jerry. I appreciate all your. You really got the lingo down. I mean, you know the ingredients, everything. You've shown that even in this episode. A lot of these things.
He's the you ever hear what's his name on Howard Stern? The guy who wrote the book. He wrote a fast food. He also coined the phrase "jump the shark." It's a real guy. His name is John Heineman or something. And he's this fast food expert. And every once in a while, Howard will have him on and just, he'll ask him about some fast food and then talk about how disgusting he is as the guy tries to talk about it. But I guess I'm the only one who knows what the fuck I'm talking about. So I should shut up. Sorry.
Well, leave some comments for Greg.
Whenever anybody goes, hit him in the hind, that's John Hine, who did Jump the Shark, and he's
Never heard
fast
that.
food expert. Yeah. I'm gonna keep going on this guy until somebody gives me a sign of life.
Leave some comments for Greg
Married
regarding this
to
person. Nobody
Barbara
knows
from
who he is.
East Sandwich, Connecticut. Yeah, okay.
I haven't listened to Howard Stern since he went to Sirius.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I don't know what he's up to. Does he still have
Well,
the
Jerry, thanks for joining us. We're both big fans of what you're doing. We really like what you're doing on YouTube, and keep on grooving. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Mike, I've been looking to talk to you forever since that time we met at the record fair 10 years ago that we barely had any time to catch up. So this was nice.
Yeah, no, it was nice meeting you back then, and I've stayed in touch with you via social media over the years, and I always like to give you the plug. I like what you're doing, and hearing a little background on your video channel. I mean, I appreciate everything you do.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate
All
that.
right.
You've been far too kind in this whole episode. I don't deserve any of it.
Not me.
Wait a second.
That's true. Greg has been very indifferent.
I'm the muscle.
Greg's the muscle.
Les can be the sweetheart.
Oh, I'm going to be the good cop, and you're going to be the bad cop. Is that how it's going to be?
I'm the bad guy.
Interesting.
All right.
Very interesting.
On that note,
Yeah.
thanks to everybody for listening. Hit that subscribe button. We want to break the 100 mark. Please make my dream happen.
100 what?
Subscribers.
I was gonna say dollars.
Jerry's got 2,300 subscribers.
Yeah, but we're not Jerry.
We're still trying. We're still trying to break 100.
You guys will get there. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we'll get there.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks.
Thanks, Jerry.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.